Hey guys, Bob Smitty here. I just got back from seeing the movie Suicide Squad, and I really liked it. If I had to rate it, I would put it between good and great. You know, it's better than good, but not quite great. This movie has character development, and I love character development. Oh, it's great. Every character in this film has their own special role to play. It's a very colorful cast of characters. They do a great job of, it's only a 2-hour runtime, but they do a really good job of giving each character their moment, giving them a backstory. Especially when it comes to Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Those two have the primary meat of the development. The other characters are kind of pushed to the side, but they have a little bit of backstory too. El Diablo has a pretty good backstory. They go into his thing. Killer Croc didn't really have anything. He's just a guy he's like a humanoid alligator kind of, or humanoid crocodile. Blech. Getting my animals mixed up. Well, you know, alligators and crocodiles, they do kind of sort of look alike, you know? So it's easy to get. Enchantress. You know, the funny thing about Enchantress is, you know, she's supposed to look kind of scary in this movie, the way they make her look, but, you know, it's kind of like, it was kind of hard to take her serious when she did that hula dance, because every time she's the Enchantress, I mean, because she can go from June Moon, the person she was before, into Enchantress. She can, you know, change her form, but it's hard to get back to her original human self. Every time she transforms, she looks kind of scary, but then she does that hula dance, and it looks, I don't know, it looks kind of goofy to me, but I know that's part of Enchantress's character, I guess, for this movie. I don't know how it was in the comics for her. I do like the fact that they make Enchantress kind of scary looking. She's got like kind of the glowy eye thing going on. Well, they go into a little bit of the backstory of Captain Boomerang, played by Jai Courtney. Okay, a lot of people hate Jai Courtney, but I think you should give him a chance, because in this movie he does a pretty good job for what little stuff he has in the film. He actually has a decent amount of screen time for this movie. And he's pretty funny as Captain Boomerang. Will Smith is great in this movie as well. I know he has some haters, you know, especially from After Earth, but he does a good job in this film. Of course, the girl who plays Harley Quinn, forgive me, I get bad. I get out of the theater and I can't remember people's names. I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere when I edit this video later. Oh, gosh. She does a great job too. Jared Leto's Joker. Okay, it's a different Joker than what you're used to from previous films. This is more of a mob boss Joker. I'm kind of a fan of Heath Ledger's Joker and Jack Nicholson's version, but this one is different. I know probably a lot of people like this new Joker, but I don't know. He doesn't have a whole lot of screen time in this movie, so I couldn't really gauge him very well. I mean, you get enough scenes, short scenes with him to see that, you know, he is a Joker. He is the Joker, but it's a different kind, and it's okay. I don't know. I mean, I might get hate for saying this. I'm not really feeling this new Joker. I think part of it's because of the look, but I think Jared Leto gave it a good shot. So yeah, great character development, which is what this movie needed. I'm glad they focused on that. One of the bad things about this movie is the motivation. Now, of course, they get shot in the neck with this little transmitter that it's like a powerful, like, mini grenade. If they do anything, they don't follow the orders of Rick Flag, Commander Rick Flag, or I think no, it's Colonel Rick Flag, who's one of the good guys. He works for Amanda Waller, and if any of them disobey a direct order, then they get their heads blown off. It's simple. They try to run away, get their heads blown off. You know, same result. You know, and that's a good motivation for criminals. You know, get them to do what you want. But the problem is, later on in the film, there's a pivotal scene, and I do think it's a good job. It's a good, you know, character builder as well. You know, they kind of bond in this pivotal scene. But still, I don't think it was enough to make them come together at the end for the final battle. This film does kind of stretch the boundaries or stretch the whole doing good, even though they're bad guys. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they do fight evil together as a team. They're they're a good team. They use good teamwork in this movie, but the motivation to be good was the problem. It didn't sell it for me. It may have made sold a lot of other people, but it didn't sell it for me. It's like, oh, let's go get the bad guy, because we're buddies. And it didn't really translate to me like that. It just kind of, a couple of characters just kind of said, okay, let's fight the bad guy, when they easily could have just run because of the certain situation in the movie that would have allowed them to get away. But I don't want to spoil it for you. But it's like, let's kill the bad guy for the sake of killing the bad guy, even though we could have just walked away. But it just didn't sell it for me. But overall, I really like this movie. It's really funny, really enjoyable. And that's another thing. It's good that it was funny. I'm glad they did those reshoots and got a few more funny scenes in there. I mean, those reshoots are kind of cutting it close. I think they reshot parts of the film like 2 months ago, and that's cutting it close for, getting the film printed and everything and sent out to like theaters and stuff. I just realized something. It's after midnight, and I haven't had supper yet, which is why I'm kind of shaking. And I had candy and Coke, a Coke Icy. It was really good, but a lot of sugar, not a lot of actual food. Hey, hang on one second. Get some cereal. Dang it, Bob. So yeah, Suicide Squad. Where was I? Oh, I like the writing. The writing was pretty darn good. Gave the characters, that also goes with character development. There were some parts where they had to say, oh, this guy did this thing at this particular time. They do show stuff, some of the backstory of the characters, multiple characters, but there are a lot of times when they do have to explain things, and I believe in show rather than tell, but I understand with the 2-hour runtime, and considering I think they cut out a lot of stuff for this film, because there's stuff in the trailer I never saw in the film. And I hate it when they do that. I like to kind of see everything that was in the trailer, because a lot of stuff in the trailer looked cool that they cut out. But, they gotta do what they gotta do sometimes, I guess. So, what else? I think director David Ayer, I think I said his name right, David Ayer, he did a good job with this. I was expecting this to kind of be like a teamwork movie, kind of like the equivalent, the DC equivalent of Guardians of the Galaxy. And, you can't really compare Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy is like a space opera, kind of Star Wars-ish thing, and this is more of like, a bunch of bad guys forced to do a good deed. So it's kind of a differential there. But, I like this movie for what it was. It was good. Pretty darn good. Starting to feel better already. One complaint, one criticism I have about this film. Like I said, it was 2 hours. But I wanted more. I know that's a strange criticism, because it's not really positive, it's not really negative. I wanted more. I could not, when the movie ended, I was like, no, I want more. Like, good thing, bad thing, but see, like, if you watch in my earlier reviews, I talk a lot about being a person not caring about how long a movie goes. Like, I would sit there and watch a 3 to 4 hour movie. A lot of people don't like that, but I would sit there, and if it was 4 hours, I would sit there and watch it with pride. I'd be like, yes, I love this, because I like the story to be fleshed out. But the sad thing is, you got to cut it down for time. People get impatient and all that crap. I wanted more character development. That could be a negative criticism. I wanted more story. I wanted to know these characters better, because I never read the Suicide Squad comics, so I don't know that much about them. I did some research online prior to the film being released, but that's my main criticism, other than the motivations for being good being kind of poo, is I wanted more. I wanted more of this, and hopefully we see more films like this. And I want to see more of the Joker. I want to see where Jared Leto takes the role. Oh yeah, and then Batman is in this movie a little bit. Well, that's pretty cool, but I want to see more dynamics. I mean, the dynamics between the characters are great. The interactions, how different characters interact with each other on the team. Oh, and Amanda Waller Viola Davis does an awesome job. She is very believable as this mean, ex-military. Well, I guess she'd be considered to be ex-military, but as like this mean, like boss. Oh man, she sells it. They're doing a good job in the visual effects of this film. I mean, I don't really have any complaints about that. Oh, action choreography. The action choreography was good. I mean, sometimes the action and the action scenes got a little confusing. Like when stuff pops into frame and you don't see exactly what they're fighting, because the monsters are they used to be people, so you can kind of tell what they are, but sometimes the action gets a little confusing. Other than that, most of the fighting scenes are pretty good. So yeah, if I had to give this movie a score, which, the whole aggregate score thing is kind of up in the air. Numbers don't really mean anything. I mean, it's all subjective. But I'd have to give it like a 7 out of 10. A solid 7 out of 10. It wasn't super great. I miss Christopher Nolan. I gotta be honest, I miss Christopher Nolan. When he did the Batman films, he did a great job. I love those films. It's just, with a different director comes a different vision, and you might not like that director's vision. I understand that. But, yeah. So, okay, I might do another video about the whole Rotten Tomatoes debacle, because Rotten Tomatoes has given this film, like last time I checked, it was like 30% or 29 or whatever, and people are getting ticked off at. There was a petition to get rid of Rotten Tomatoes, even though Rotten Tomatoes doesn't do the reviews. They just collect reviews from all the sources, news sources and everything, news critics. But yeah, so I don't know. I might do a video talking about that later. I'll have to see. But yeah, so that was my review for Suicide Squad. I highly recommend you guys watch it. It is a fun movie. They did the reshoots. It's a little more funny, so it's more lighthearted, closer to what Marvel films are, but still remaining as a DC kind of dark, gritty film at the same time. So they did a good job with that. I'm glad they did the reshoots. But yeah, that was my review, and I'm gonna finish my cereal. You guys have a good day, night, whatever time zone you're in. Time zone, might not know my language, but maybe you'll interpret something. Maybe not. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to end the video. I got to eat my cereal. So yeah, see you guys later in the next video.